Good morning. It is Friday, March the 21st of 2025. We are live from our WXCO studios at the corner of Washington Street and North 3rd Street in downtown Wausau. Cloudy skies right now, even freezing 32 degrees. It is the Friday edition of the Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app. You can also join us by going to youtube.com and the 98.9 WXCO page. Be able to see a live stream of our program there as well. We would also like you to be part of the show. You can comment on YouTube, and you can also send us a text or call us at the very same number. Call or text at 715-382-9297. That's 715-382-9297. Again, we would love to hear your voice, hear your thoughts here on the program between now and 10 a.m. You can also call or text us through your Civic Media app by opening up the 98.9 WXCO part of the app as well. Coming up here this morning at 8:21, we'll be talking to our meteorologist, Brittney Merlot. Another maybe significant snowstorm coming on Saturday night into Sunday. We'll find out what she has seen with those weather models, whether or not we can expect to have to battle some more snow. In fact, as I look outside, there are some public workers out there clearing out some of the snow drifts around the downtown area. You know, on Wednesday when the snow came, the plows came and they had the big piles of snow, and they're trying to move those out of the way of some parking spots here in downtown Wausau. Will those workers be expected on the roads again on Sunday? We'll find out coming up in just a few minutes with meteorologist Brittney Merlot. Then coming up at 8:34 this morning, we'll have our weekly visit with our Civic Media and 98.9 WXCO sports reporter, Mike Clemens. Of course, a very busy time. Wisconsin Badgers started off their NCAA tournament run with a 19-point win over the Grizzlies of Montana yesterday. They will be playing tomorrow night in the second round against BYU. The Marquette Golden Eagles getting set to hit the court in the NCAAs later on tonight against New Mexico. Bucks very impressive last night in defeating the shorthanded LA Lakers. Talk about that and a whole bunch more with Mike Clemens coming up at 8:34 this morning. And then in hour number 2, more sports talk, as we'll have an opportunity to visit here in studio with Newman Catholic High School football and track coach, athletic director Paul Michlig as well. So that's all on tap here on this Friday. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO. Need to say good morning as well, because I forgot to mention that at the very end of the show, our last segment is our daily history lesson. Talk about some of the famous events that occur on this date in American and world history. Some celebrity birthdays, also special events being acknowledged today. And then we wrap it up with our number for the day quiz. And the person that takes that quiz at about 9:56 every morning is our in-studio engineer, Mr. Ian Welsh. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Chad. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you as well. You are 2 out of 4 so far this week, so you've already clinched a passing grade for this week. That's always good. You don't want to go into the last day having to get it right and then put all the pressure on.
Yeah.
But there's still a little bit of pressure because we want you to get a winning week. We don't have we don't want you to get a C grade for the week. We want you to get up to a B grade.
Absolutely.
And a winning week is where you get more right than wrong. In fact, it would be quite a comeback because you got the wrong answer on Monday, you got the wrong answer on Tuesday, got the right answer on Wednesday, got the right answer on Thursday. So you're on a bit of a roll. And we'll let you know what the topic is in the first segment of the second hour.
Sounds good.
Real quickly to start off the show, yesterday, noontime hour, I went over on Stewart Avenue because yesterday we had Nancy Stencil on the program, and she was talking a bit about an event going on Stewart Avenue at the Wausau office of Congressman Tom Tiffany. And I decided to go on over there. Just wanted to see the folks that come out, see what they had to say, and just get a feel for what was going on. And if you go to our WXCO Facebook page, put some pictures up there as well of the folks that were very, very, law-abiding, not rioting or anything like that.
Very good.
But they were doing some chanting, doing some singing, had a man with a guitar. And there were folks that just wanted to talk to Tom Tiffany about a lot of the things that have been going on in Washington over the past 2 months. And the first thing that jumped out was in talking to a few of the people, they were from all over the place. I mean, there were people from Ashland and even north of Ashland I talked to. They came a long way for this event. And there were a lot of signs, a lot of positive energy. And I thought a lot of positivity towards democracy. And one of the things that really jumped out were how many people were there. To be honest with you, I was not expecting a lot of folks when I went over there, but there were folks that were, within this whole block on the sidewalk. And again, if you say, is it a massive crowd? Of course, it's not a massive crowd, but I do think that this kind of energy, this type of caring about our system, this kind of caring about our representatives actually representing us was very impressive at 12 noon on a workday. I mean, I was very, very impressed. I was very impressed with the words that were spoken at the event. I was very impressed with just the way that people, I think, understand the point in history that we are at. And I saw Nancy there, but I saw a bunch of other folks. The organization that was actually that brought up this event was an organization called Ashland to Wausau Indivisible.
Yeah.
And again, it's a group that's a grassroots effort. And we've talked a little bit in the past about, I remember mentioning that a few weeks ago, there was an event over at the Marathon County Democratic Office where Judge Susan Crawford came to speak. And there was, like Nancy said, about 75 people that packed that room. And there was an overflow crowd, in fact, there. But, when you think about it, 75 people, you don't think, what difference does that make? It makes a lot of difference. Because I compare the people that go to an event like that or the people that went to an event like yesterday on the streets. It was nippy out there, but, the sun was shining and people were very, very energetic. And again, if you were to say that, does a group of 75 to 100 people have the same power that a man like Elon Musk has with all of his millions of dollars that he is putting into these political races? The first thought is no. But I think in the big picture, in terms of what democracy is all about, that the folks that were on that sidewalk in front of Tom Tiffany's office yesterday, or the folks that came and listened to and then worked, knocking on doors, making phone calls for Judge Crawford, are just as powerful in different ways than Elon Musk is. Unfortunately, Elon Musk's money is able to reach a lot more people because it's just the way it is. If you get all this money put into television spots and radio spots and social media spots, you're going to reach a lot of people. But it just does show that there are people out there that do see what is happening and realizing what we are coming up against here in 2025. And I was glad I was able to go over there, and I was glad to be able to talk to a few of the people, and I was very happy to see this positive energy for doing what is right, for defending our system of government that has been so good to so many people for nearly 250 years. And if the headlines in the newspapers do not say it, if the folks that are on cable television do not say it loudly and specifically enough, there are people out there that are willing to say, hey, save our earned benefits, save our Medicare, save our Medicaid, save our Social Security, follow the law. Because we have seen over and over again this administration stepping outside the boundaries, not even listening to courts when they say you're stepping outside the boundaries. We need people to come out and say it, that we are seeing what you're doing. Stop it. Again, I just wanted to kind of start off by saying that because, again, if you can't count on the elites of this country right now to save us. Because, again, this week, I saw a clip of an interview that the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer had with Chris Hayes of MSNBC. And Schumer says, we are getting to the point of true crisis. We are getting to the point of Donald Trump crossing these lines. Chuck, we're there.
Actually,
I mean,
think
it was
crossed that point a couple weeks ago.
Yes. I mean, I don't know
what kind of world he's living in, but I think he needs to get on the bandwagon and realize that he has already stepped way over the line, and we need to call him out, and we need to fight back against this, because no, he's not about to cross the line. He has erased the line, and he has created a new line that is way outside of what we should allow.
Exactly. And if Chuck Schumer is not going to say it, if the New York Times is not going to say it in the proper way, if CNN and Fox News and MSNBC are not going to say it at the level it needs to be said, at least there are people like the people that we saw in front of Tom Tiffany's Wausau office yesterday that are saying, hey, we have work to do. And again, no
shouting, no rioting, just people coming together, making their concerns valid, using the power of music to bring people together and positive energy. That is what we need to see more of right now.
And as these events continue, I think that people should think about joining in on these to let the folks know that, hey, we know what's happening out there and things need to change.
So God bless all the people who came out for that event yesterday.
The time is 8:18. Coming up next, we're going to talk about our weekend weather forecast as we are joined by meteorologist Brittney Merlot. That's coming up next. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
Good morning, Brittney.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing pretty good, actually. The snow on our driveway yesterday didn't stick around for very long.
I was actually thinking about you. I was like, he probably doesn't have to shovel. Yay!
I used a snowblower for most of it, and I shoveled the rest of it. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was just the heavier snow at the end of the driveway was
that's a backbuster.
A few hours after I finished the driveway, like after lunchtime, I looked at the driveway and it's like practically gone.
Yeah.
It looks like
Yep.
most of the roads are pretty clear as well. So,
Yep. It's nice because the ground's getting warm, so it
mm,
helps it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's good.
Step right up and don't be shy, because you will not believe your eyes. She's right here behind the glass. You're gonna like her, but she's got class.
Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app, and again at YouTube.com on the 98.9 WXCO channel as well. Well, a quick note that don't forget, make sure you're tuned in bright and early on Monday morning as our next Text to Win statewide contest gets underway. It starts at 7 a.m. on Monday morning with Up North News Radio with Pat Kreitlow for your first chance to listen for a keyword to enter in for your chance to be an hourly winner and also be part of the final drawing for a grand prize after 2 weeks. There'll be 4 chances to enter starting on Monday in the 7 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. hours each day throughout the 2-week statewide Text to Win contest. Our host at the start of each of those hours will give you a keyword, and all you'll have to do is open up your Civic Media app and text that word to be part of the drawing to win in that hour and also be part of the final drawing at the end of the contest. Daily chances include a Chula Vista getaway, Milwaukee Brewers club level tickets, or $100 cash. And again, it starts on Monday with Pat at 7 a.m. And every entry will put you into our grand prize drawing of a brand new queen size mattress set from Vertal Mattress. Again, it's done through the Civic Media app. So if you've not downloaded the app yet, do it. Do it right now. Go to your app store, search Civic Media, download the app, then open up the 98.9 WXCO part of the app and join in that contest. 4 times a day starting this coming Monday for the next 2 weeks with Civic Media and 98.9 WXCO. Overcast, guys, right now in downtown Wausau, temperature of 32 degrees. Not a bad start. Calm start here this morning. And to find out what to expect weather-wise for the weekend, we're happy to be joined again by our meteorologist, Brittney Merlot. Brittney, good morning.
Good morning and happy Friday. Woo, we're here.
Yep, we have made it to another weekend. We're getting closer and closer already to the end of March, but it's time for the weekend to come. As I look outside here this morning, had some of the crews hauling away the big piles of snow that were plowed into these big piles on Wednesday. We saw some of the snow start to melt a little bit with the sunshine yesterday. But as we get to the weekend, I know we've been talking about it, a chance for more precipitation, whether or not that's going to be snow, rain, or somewhere in between. I've been kind of wondering what those models are saying and what do we expect here as we get into the weekend?
Oh, ton more March Madness. That's for sure. Don't put the shovels away yet. Oh my gosh. So we've got system after system just coming right through the state, and there's no break for our backs from shoveling. I'll tell you that. So this is going to be the slushy, heavy, wet snow again. 'Tis the season for that. And here's how it's all going to go down. First things first, today. We've got a front kind of moving through, and we've got breezy winds out of the south, which are warming us up, where we're actually going to hit highs in the upper 40s. So pretty mild, pretty nice. Yes, it's going to be breezy, but then the winds shift out of the north this evening. And as they shift, it could create a few spotty sprinkles. So this could be around 6 to 7 o'clock or so this evening. Nothing major, but do expect after that rain comes through, it is going to get cold. So a few flurries could fly, kind of unlikely, but really temperatures crashing down to the teens. So a cool, crisp start to the morning tomorrow. It will be a calm day. The winds will barely be moving. The sun will be shining. Bright blue skies, a gorgeous Saturday, but a little cooler. Highs in the mid-30s. Now, everything changes overnight. Right around midnight or so, or a few hours after, right in that time frame, snow is going to move in. It's going to start to mix to some sleet. Then it's going to mix over to rain because our temperatures on Sunday are going to be above freezing at about 40 degrees is what it looks like right now. So whatever happens in the morning, yes, it's going to be slick and slippery and terrible road conditions. But if you stay home and you don't want to shovel, you're probably going to be able to get away with it because the rain is going to melt it, the temperatures will melt it. And then in the evening, Sunday evening, we start to fall cold again, right? So this is going to flip back over to snow, and this is where the accumulations are going to start there. And we could see about 2 to 5 inches by Monday morning. It does want to ease up, get out of here by Monday afternoon. It's done, it's gone. But Sunday night into our Monday morning is probably the bigger accumulation chances there. Now, the heaviest hit looks to be towards Rhinelander, where they're pushing near 10 inches possible. But here for us, a good 2 to 5.
Yeesh.
I know.
We had not seen really these kind of significant amounts very often during the winter. Now that we get to the spring, it's happening multiple times in the week. But again, as you said, it's not going to stick around. And even as we get to next week, obviously this time of year, more times than not are high temperatures above freezing. So that, I guess that's the good news. But still,
Right.
there's still enough snow out there right now to now you're going to add a little bit more. It's like, oh, darn it, we're ready for spring.
I know. I hate this. It's the new normal, though, it feels like. And also, this is pothole season, right? You got these snowbanks now. They're melting. All that water's getting down into our cracks of the roads. Then it's freezing at night. Just like you put the ice cube tray, it expands. That ice expands as it freezes. It's expanding those roads. It's creating potholes. It's a mess. I hate spring, to be honest with you.
And the thing about it is, I mean, during the winter time, you get this kind of snow, then you're able to do stuff with it. I don't really
Right.
think you do a whole lot of stuff with this snow, can you?
No, you really can. It's like mashed potatoes out there. You try skiing on it, you're getting stuck. It's sticky. It's just, yeah, it's not the best.
Any plans this weekend? Do you,
I'm-
or are you just going to try to avoid getting out there and slipping when the ice is out there?
Oh, you know I'm going to be out there
I know
regardless.
you
I'm going to try to ski, so you can imagine me getting stuck. I'll probably fall a few times in these mashed potato kind of conditions, but I'm going to try it out. Otherwise, go hiking, see what's going
There
on,
you
see if these rivers are rising or, get into some sort of woodsy thing.
Absolutely. Well, have fun, whatever you're doing, and
Thanks.
enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
You
Bye,
too.
bye.
Have a great one. Bye, guys.
Mhm. That is our Brittney Merlot meteorologist, and always taking advantage, no matter what the weather is. Right now in downtown Wausau, temperature 32 degrees, winds out of the south at 10 miles per hour, wind chill factor of 24. The dew point is 21, relative humidity of 64%. The barometer at 29.57 inches and a visibility of 10 miles. Coming up next, it's an information update. We give you news, weather, sports, entertainment at the top and the bottom of every hour. So we'll have that coming up, and then we'll talk March Madness and more. Yeah, it's almost baseball time next week. The Brewers open things up. So, man, there's a lot to talk about. Civic Media sports reporter Mike Clemens coming up next. With Ian Welsh, I'm Chad Holmes. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO. Is it the 5156 number that you have for Mike?
The 26.
Yeah, don't
Two-
give it all. We're people in here. Is it the 5156?
The one that ends in that?
Yes.
That's one I still have. Yeah.
Yep, that's the number you call.
Okay.
And welcome back, Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. Time is 8:34, 32 degrees under mostly cloudy skies here in downtown Wausau. And we are in the midst of March Madness. I know a lot of folks spent a lot of time watching the tube yesterday, early morning until late at night, and going to do it all over again today. And talk about that, talk about everything else going on in sports. It's our Civic Media and 98.9 WXCO sports reporter, Mike Clemens. Mike, good morning.
Morning, Chad. I know that you probably do the same thing, but it's like, you're laying out the prep for your sportscast or for your show. And it's like, okay, so you kind of stack up the stories. Okay, anything going on in baseball, football, and then it's like basketball. Basketball. I mean, it's everywhere. So, yeah, we're into March Madness, whether it's prep, pros, or college. And the Badgers pulling out a win yesterday afternoon in Denver. They beat the Montana Grizzlies 85-66. And John Blackwell was the star of the show, the guard. He had 19 points. And Stephen Krall, who struggled there around January, he had 18. He said after the game that the coaches told him, you got to be more aggressive under the bucket, and which he was. John Tonje came with 15 points, but Greg Gard had 5 players at double digits, and then like their sixth man, the senior Carter Gilmore, he even had 8 points and 6 assists in that one. So now the Badgers move on. They're going to play BYU, Brigham Young, tomorrow night at 6:25 at the Ball Arena in Denver because they beat VCU yesterday.
It's interesting because so often the Badgers, usually in the first round, they're the higher seed, but it's always a nervousness most years because you never knew when a 38-point effort would come up or a 42-point effort. That's a completely different Badger team. During the season, we saw this, and then an 85-point outburst, as you said, all those double-digit scores. We knew it was a different team during the season, but still that first round game is a little nervous, and they were able to fly right by and do exactly what they were supposed to do, right?
Yeah, and that loss at the Kohl Center to Penn State, and even though Penn State's got a great football team, their basketball team's at the bottom, of the Big Ten Conference, and they upset them that afternoon. It's like, what happened there? I mean, they just came out flat with that one. I found this interesting. I've got a buddy that works the scorers table for years now, 30 years, at the Marquette games, John Dodds. And I was looking at his blog the other day, seeing some of his takes on what's going to be happening with the Golden Eagles. But there's this one guy, some of these guys are really into the power rankings, in sports. Like, people ask me during the football season, were the Eagles even at the top of the power rankings last year? I don't know, because I follow standings. I watch the games, right? You can look for which teams are playing hot and the injuries and that kind of thing. So he said, this one guy, was called Pudner Sports or something. I guess he's been doing this like 30 years or so. He comes out with a survey, the hottest teams headed into March Madness, headed into the NCAA tournament. And he had Wisconsin at 29th. And Marquette, out of 68 teams, he had Marquette 68th.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Marquette had that spell where they started out, they were ranked as high as 4th.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped all the way to 25th in the top 25. But he had them ranked because all these different analytics, he had them ranked 68th coming in. Their Marquette's playing tonight in Cleveland against New Mexico. Do you know he had at number 1 of this ranking of 100 teams?
No.
Montana.
Well, that's
5-9. Montana, the Grizzlies. Hey, listen, man, they're 14-1 headed into the tournament. They're the hottest team headed into the tournament. So, that's where you put those power rankings.
Yeah, for Marquette tonight, I have no idea what we're going to see. You said it. They came out so well this year. They were, as you said, in the top 5 in the country, and they have scuffled down the stretch. Even their last game was sort of a microcosm of what's happened lately. They jump out to a 15-point lead against St. John's, obviously a top 10 team, and then end up losing by mid-double figures when all is said and done. It's been a very up and down 2025 part of the schedule for MU, and facing New Mexico. And I can't say that I'm a huge expert on New Mexico, but obviously a 7-10 game can go either way.
No, so I talked to one buddy of mine who covers that conference. He said, hey, don't sleep on the New Mexico Lobos. That they can be a dynamic team. And to me, though, I think what's become clear is that for the Marquette Golden Eagles with Cam Jones and Stevie Mitchell and David Joplin, what Shaka Smart is, he's needed more help from that bench. It's like their starting five can compete, but when they want to rest those guys that come off the bench, that's where the drop off is, and that's what Marquette's going to need if they're going to get through games like this one tonight, or as they get deeper into the tournament. They need more help from their bench.
Bucks got a much needed W last night. I mean, I tell you, the Bucks have been just so, you talk about a roller coaster year. It has been a roller coaster year. Every time it feels like they're going in the wrong direction. Then they all of a sudden show signs of looking like the team that can compete at the top of the conference. And then they'll go back down again. It's been pretty crazy. And yes, the Lakers, they were missing everybody and everyone. They were probably calling up the ghost of Wilt Chamberlain to come back and help them out last night because they were so shorthanded. But in the end, the Bucks did what they had to do. What is your take? We are almost to April. We are getting close to the end of the regular season. Are the Bucks just who the Bucks are right now?
Here's the deal. It's one thing when you're losing to the Cavaliers or the Thunder, two of the top teams in the sport right now. But there was that one Saturday night where the Orlando Magic came in at home at Fiserv Forum. That should have been no problem for them. And the Magic, they came out physical. As a matter of fact, in the first quarter, Franz Wagner, he got into Giannis's face or pushed him from behind, and looked like there was going to be a fight. He got a flagrant foul on him, but they beat him up, and the Bucks did not respond, and they ended up losing at home to the Magic. And during this whole period, their offense seems to have been off. They've only won 3 of their last 8 games. And then after losing the other night at Golden State when Steph Curry was off, the report was that Doc Rivers sat down with Giannis and Damian Lillard, closed door to say, what are we doing? What's going on here? Offensively, what do you guys see that's going on? And I don't know what came of those meetings. I don't know if Doc was asked about or addressed it in his pregame presser yesterday, but whatever, they lit him up when they walked in to the arena out in LA last night, and they found out that at least 4 of their starters, including LeBron James and Luka, were not going to play. Maybe that's when he decided to rest Damian Lillard. But by the way, Bronny James, LeBron's son, he had his best game of his career last night. He had 17 points, 70% percentage, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. But the Bucks just blew them away. They were up by 35 points in that one. Giannis got some rest. So they emptied the bench last night, and they ended up just rolling over the Lakers 118-89. And one thing that happened this week, though, as you start thinking about where are they going to be, what's the momentum going to be? They're on this West Coast trip. They're going to play the Kings in Sacramento tomorrow night. And where are they going to be when it gets to be time to playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
And was it Monday or Sunday? Jericho Sims, the backup center they picked up in the trade, he tears a ligament in his right thumb, and he had to fly to New York to have surgery done on the right hand. He's out 4 weeks. So, that doesn't help in terms of, rest time for Brook Lopez. But Doc says he's assured that guy will be ready by the time that they get to the postseason. So, that was the silver lining out of that one. But that between him and Bobby Portis is out, that's the 2 injuries or suspension thing that they're looking at.
Also, some hoops. Talk about hoops everywhere. You got the hoops on the college realm. You got the Bucks on their West Coast road trip, and then you got down in Madison, the Boise State High School basketball tournament started off with the Division III and Division IV semifinals yesterday. And I know a lot of folks here in our neck of the woods here in central Wisconsin will be keeping an eye on a couple of teams down at state in Division II. Wausau East making their first appearance in about 17 years. And Marshfield, the Wisconsin Valley Conference champs, playing later tonight in D1. How closely do you keep an eye on something like this, Mike? Because I know you are so very busy with the colleges and the pro sports. Do you ever, have a chance to take a peek at what's going on at state basketball?
I try to. I've got a buddy that was a news director of mine. He goes every year. Every year. I mean, back in the days he was in the field house, just because it's such, it's such pure sport. And I know, I went. Do you remember a player named Bill Hanslick? He went to my high school. He was a few years ahead of me, which was kind of cool. Was when he was playing for the Sonics and then later the Nuggets. I would pop in when he would come to play, the Bucks, and I was in the club. I said, "And Clem, what are you doing here, man?" I go, "I'm working here, man. I got a press pass." I got to cover him. And anyway, I got to follow him, play at state. I mean, there's nothing like it. It's so dramatic. It means so much to those teams and those families. So no, I can't try and keep an eye on them. It's just kind of weird how things are. I guess because the Badgers are both in Marquette into it, I have to follow that. Otherwise, I'd probably want to visit some of those games because they are great. Now they play them at the Kohl Center. Like you say, you got semifinals today, and you got Wausau against Tosa today. And the winner of that one will be in the championship game tomorrow night. That's Division One. Is that 6:35 or the one after that? It's probably the one after that. But yeah, unfortunately, the Badgers get assigned right at 6:35 just because those games are going on tomorrow night for the state championship.
And finally, man, oh man, talk about a massive women's college hockey game tonight. I mean, it's been such an incredible season for Wisconsin. They've been number one basically all season long. An incredible stat. It would be like if the Heisman Trophy had 3 players from the same team as a finalist. The Badgers have all 3 of the finalists for the Kazmaier Award for the top player, and yet they have to play a road game basically in the semifinals tonight against their biggest rivals, Minnesota. I mean, man, that's massive tonight.
Yeah, the Wisconsin women's hockey team ranked number 1 in the nation. Mark Johnson, the head coach, the guy from the Miracle on Ice team way back in the day, 35 wins so far. So they're taking on the Minnesota Gophers tonight. It's the semifinals. That's at 6:25, but at the same time, the Marquette's playing. And the winner then advances to the championship game at the Ritter Arena in the Twin Cities at the Minnesota campus. So we'll be watching, keeping track of that one too for you, Chad.
March Madness, right?
March Madness. Hey, one quick thing, next week, Thursday, opening day in New York, there's a great article that you should read, and it's by Todd Rosiak, the beat reporter of the Brewers for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel at JS Online, and he goes deep in an interview with the Brewers GM, Matt Arnold, who, even though he was, elected Executive of the Year last year in baseball by getting that young team and making those roster changes to get them to win the division, it's a great story about how, he grew up just loving baseball, playing baseball, realized he couldn't hit a pitch past, 90 miles an hour. And he started doing, fantasy leagues as a kid in high school. His dad would always kind of quiz him in the car, like, name this, what player does this guy play for? He would name all the stats and stuff. And how hard he worked to get into the Dodgers organization of an internship, making $50 a day. It was pretty much gas money, 2-hour drive back and forth. And how he eventually got in to become the GM of the Brewers. That guy is, talk about under the radar. It's a great article, and any Brewers fan should check that out.
Fantastic. And by the way, the Cubs are 0-2. So good news.
Those games in Japan, right?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
It is. It's horrible. Hey, Mike, have yourself a great busy weekend, and we'll catch you next week.
I will, pal. Thanks.
Mike Clemens, our 98.9 WXCO and Civic Media sports reporter. Time is 8:48. We're going to take a quick time out. Be right back. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
And then you walk down. Where do we go from here? It seems all too near. Just as far beyond as I can see. I still don't know what this all means to me. I have nowhere to go. I don't know what to do.
Play 2005, please.
You got it.
Hello there, this is James
Melissa,
Chad.
and Seth inviting you to come work with us. Civic Media is looking for a full-time sales professional to work with existing and new broadcast and digital media clients.
we're a fast-growing company that offers competitive wages, benefits, a relaxed working environment that focuses on quality of life and includes a team of support to reach our shared goals.
Join us in continuing what we have done for 80 years. Be a part of the community, put into the community, celebrate community.
Find out more by contacting Chuck Gennaro at 715-935-8030 or email chuck.gennaro@civicmedia.us. All inquiries are confidential. Civic Media Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer, and we look forward to you joining us.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones. Check 511wi.gov or download the app for road work or closures on your route. Know before you go with 511 Wisconsin, sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
If you want me, you can find me left of center off of the strip. In the outskirts and in the fringes, in the corner, out of the grip. If you want me, you can find me left of center off of the strip. In the outskirts and in the fringes, in the corner, out of the grip. When they ask me, what are you looking at? I always answer.
Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO. Online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. And again, at YouTube.com as well. Go to YouTube.com and the 98.9 WXCO page. Become a subscriber and be able to watch the videos of our program at your convenience and live as well. Also, you just heard a promo, and you can join us. Join the growing team at Civic Media. With many other broadcast companies in Wisconsin shrinking their staff and stripping away services like weather, news, and sports, Civic Media is doing the exact opposite. Our team is growing, and we're hiring qualified candidates to join the radio network, including positions right here in Wausau at WXCO. You can check out all the open positions at Civic Media by going to civicmedia.us/careers. That's civicmedia.us/careers. The Civic Media family continues to grow, and we're looking for a number of talented people to fill open roles. We are looking for a full-time salesperson here at our Wausau office. We are looking for a full-time news person. If you're a news reporter looking for that next great opportunity, we have an opportunity right here at 98.9 WXCO as well. And also, if you're somebody that is interested in becoming part of our sports play-by-play staff, we are looking for somebody to add to our group with myself and Tom Weaver as well. So you can reach out and join us that way as well. So again, you can check out the entire company's open positions at civicmedia.us/careers. Also, I want to invite you to go to our website at wxco.fm. Yesterday, I added a new blog. You can see it by going to the homepage at wxco.fm. And if you go down a little bit on the right-hand side under blog, I have one titled, "The Department of Defense Erased Jackie Robinson. Time to call strike 3 on the racism." And I talk a bit about what's happened this week and also what's happened in the last couple of months, where basically the Trump administration is trying to erase anything historical from anybody that is not a white person, is not a straight person, is not a man, and basically trying to use DEI as a weapon. And I wrote my blog on that. So again, check it out at wxco.fm. You can get there from the homepage. You can also go to our Chad Holmes show page as well. And right now, there is no courage out there in terms of calling out the pure racism and the white supremacy that is being pushed by the administration when it comes to things like this. And also just generally. But I get a newsletter every morning. And this morning, it's called Cup of Coffee with Craig Calcaterra. It's a baseball blog, but also it's a blog on other things going on in the country and in the world. And he talked about the Jackie Robinson situation earlier this week. And also, he's talking about what Major League Baseball has done and asking Major League Baseball to step up and stand up for Jackie Robinson and also their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs that they've had for the last number of years.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, like many other major organizations, Major League Baseball is not showing courage, is not standing up. As Calcaterra writes this morning in his Cup of Coffee newsletter, that Major League Baseball has altered what was once its diversity, equity, and inclusion webpage. We're removing that title and scrubbing the word diversity from it. And it does not appear to be an isolated incident, he says. He says he's done some digging on the Major League Baseball website the last couple of days, comparing various pages to their archive versions from November and December. And he says his most notable find, Major League Baseball has almost completely eliminated the webpage for its diversity pipeline program. And it's not even clear if the program itself exists any longer. Right now, based on everything that the Trump administration has done, it is a racist organization. It is a white supremacist organization. And if people are going to kowtow to this and scrub all their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, they're falling for it. We need courage right now. And folks like Major League Baseball involving multiple billionaires, if you can't stand up to Donald Trump and his racist programs, who can? Who can? These rich people that are falling at the feet of Trump are a scourge right now in our country. Yes, what is going on with Trump is horrible, but what is going on with these folks is just as bad. Mm-hmm. I'll try to talk a little more later on in the program, but we have to take a time out. Information update coming up, and then hour number 2 of the show. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
All I need is a TV show and the radio. Down on my luck again. Down on my luck again. I can show you some of the people in my life. I can show you some of the people in my life. It's driving me mad. Just another way of passing the day.
Good morning. The time is 9:07. It is Friday, March the 21st of 2025. At our studios, WXCO Studios in downtown Wausau, at the corner of Washington Street and North 3rd Street, temperature stands at 35 degrees. It is hour number 2 of the Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app. Coming up in just a few minutes at 9:21, we'll be joined by Paul Michlig, the Newman Catholic High School head football and track and field coach, athletic director as well, for his weekly get-together here to talk about some high schools, actually about Wisconsin sports. Then at the end of the program, we will have our daily history lesson. We will talk about some of the famous events that have occurred on this date in history. Also talk about some celebrity birthdays and special events being acknowledged today. And we will wrap things up with our number for the day quiz. And we will have that quiz be taken by Ian Welsh, who is our in-studio engineer and producer. And Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Chad.
You are 2 out of 4 so far this week when it comes to the number for the day quiz. That means you've already clinched a passing grade for this week, because
I can do better.
What we do is, because based on the math, we give you 3 choices every weekday, 2 of which are incorrect and 1 of which is right. And based on the math, you should get 1 out of 3 right, but by guessing, 33%.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're above 33%, we consider that a passing grade. If you're below 33%, we consider it a failing grade. But then we don't want just passing grade. We strive for excellence here. And we want you to have a winning week, which is more right than wrong. And you have a chance to do that today because you are 2 out of 4. If you get it right today, you'll have 3 right and 2 wrong for this week in a winning week. If you don't get it right, that means it'll be 2 right and 3 wrong. You'll still have a passing week, but not a winning week. And of course, your all-time best week is 4 out of 5. So
that's right.
A lot on the line here today. We want a winning week. We want you to go into the weekend with that spring in your step. And I know that you're going on a little road trip tomorrow.
Yes, I am. My group of friends and myself are going to Green Bay tomorrow. Excuse me. Tomorrow evening to tackle our next escape room. It should be a lot of. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I got something in my throat.
That's okay.
It should be a lot of fun, though.
Yes, it will. Oh, by the way, we should give you the category, the topic for today's number for the day quiz. And coming up later tonight, the Marquette University men's basketball team will start their NCAA tournament run tonight in Cleveland, taking on who are they taking on? New Mexico Lobos.
Okay.
And the topic of our number for the day will be Marquette University men's basketball.
Okay.
So the number of the day will involve Marquette University men's basketball. So that will be coming up at the end of the program.
All right.
So you can start to stew on that just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll come back to that at about 9:56 this morning.
Sounds good.
But do we have somebody that's on the phone?
We do. our good friend Cornell, who's been calling in recently, would like to share some of his thoughts at the rally yesterday, because he was there himself. So
yes, he was. I had a chance to talk to Cornell yesterday at the rally, and Cornell, good morning.
Yes, well, thanks for getting me on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a great turnout, and there's so many things to talk about. You got politics, you got the measles spreading, you got the environment getting hotter, and we protested. The veterans, Vietnam veterans, came out, and Trump wants to cut the VA staff down in Toma, and I talked to some people down there, and they're under a lot of stress because they don't know who's going to get axed, so there's a problem there. So we went upstairs. They let 3 people go upstairs to talk to his aide. And
that's Tom Tiffany, for people, just to make sure that they know that the event was at Tom Tiffany's Wausau office yesterday. So you had a chance to go upstairs and talk to the aide of Tom Tiffany.
Yeah, right. And I, told him, well, there are so many things to talk about, and I said Schimmer's running for the judge, and I feel he shouldn't be a judge because he accepted that insurrection that we had, 1,000 people pardoned. Some people were thrown back in jail. One person was shot. And I said, a judge shouldn't be, a Supreme Court judge in Wisconsin because because of this act. And I showed him the pictures due to that insurrection, 5 dead officers that died due to that insurrection. And it's just quite upsetting that we shouldn't have a judge that accepts a president that's a criminal, and he's violating the Constitution of the United States.
What I will say, though, real quickly, Cornell, is that that's up to the voters right now on April the 1st. And frankly, in terms of Tom Tiffany, I think there's some things that he needs to be working on when it comes to Donald Trump and what's going on in Washington right now. I think the voters have an opportunity to say to Brad Schimmel, hey, your support of the insurrectionists on January the 6th makes you disqualified for the state Supreme Court.
Yes, yes, right. And another thing that's quite upsetting is Schimmer is traveling with Trump Jr. And due to the insurrection, before the insurrection, Trump Jr. said, and it's recorded in his speech, I thought that was a violation. I thought Trump Jr. should be charged because he stated that you have to go down to the Capitol and fight to the death. What if we said that? I mean, we would be in prison. I mean, some of these things are so outrageous that we have to get out there. We have to get out to the rallies. We have to get, I'm doing phone calls. I'm calling my senator, and they have to stand up that they're violating the Constitution. Like the show before you stated that Bondi, the Attorney General, she's not following the law. She's not following the judge's orders. And that's when you don't follow the judge's orders, you go to jail.
Well, that's exactly right. And that's an aspect. And frankly, I saw here, I was just, during the top of the hour break, I was looking at just a few articles and reading up on what's going on. And right now, we have some folks on the Democratic side, the Democratic leader in the United States Senate, that is just, I think, hoping that the weight of the MAGA movement is going to crash on itself. That's not enough. We need people like what you did yesterday and the others that were out at Tom Tiffany's office. We need not just to sit back and say, well, eventually the MAGA movement is going to collapse on its own weight. Well, we've been dealing with the MAGA movement now for nearly 10 years. And we need to do our part as well. I mean, sitting back like Schumer and some others are doing is not the answer. That right now, we are in a critical situation for our democracy. And I think what you're saying is exactly right, that doggone it, we cannot be in a passive mode right now. And you doing your calls and going out and marching with others, I think is exactly the right way to go.
Yeah. Well, you can think in the past, I'm around the Vietnam era, that people got out to protest the Vietnam War. And if they didn't protest that war, we would still be fighting the Vietnam War.
I mean, that is part of the responsibility of the people here, to let their voices be heard when their representatives, such as Congressman Tom Tiffany, are not listening. If they're not going to listen, you got to get out there and let your voice be even louder. And I think that's what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, Tom Tiffany and Senator Johnson, they're just yes people for President Trump.
And the idea that is really concerning is that these folks have a constitutional role in our system, that the legislative branch is an equal branch of government along with the judicial and the executive. And right now, Donald Trump is trying to put minions into the judicial branch that will let him break the law. And he is assuming, with the threat of primary challenges backed by the money of Elon Musk, that the Republicans in the legislative branch will let him do what they want to do as well. So that's why people like Johnson and Tiffany need to grow a spine, not because they may agree or disagree with anything Trump is doing, but because the role of government, which they have said for years, they've talked for years about, overreach by President Obama in those days and Biden. And then when Trump has fiat by executive order, they just sit back and say nothing. I mean, it's wrong.
Well, we just have to get out there and voice our opinion, and the Supreme Court has to stand up to this violations. I hope when it gets to the Supreme Court that, the Supreme Court justice did push back on that you cannot impeach a judge, if you disagree with them. Every time you disagree with Trump, he throws you under the bus.
Yes, he does.
So, I mean, people have to voice their opinion. This is the time to voice your opinion. I've been doing calls, and people are confused. People, they just put earphones on, and then they just don't move. But I do get some calls, and they say, yeah, we voted for Judge Crawford. And
Cornell, we have a hard break coming up here in 10 seconds, but it was great to see you yesterday. Continue the good work.
Okay, well, thanks for getting the voice out. Thanks for Channel 7 for covering the rally, and just thank you very much, and you all have a nice weekend. Bye.
sight. Only you, so we walk alone. Though I knew that there was something wrong, and a feeling that feels so strong about you. Then you gazed up at me, and the answer was plain to see, 'cause I saw the light in your eyes.
And welcome back, Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. Do we have a phone call here, Ian, or is this something that's not for the air? So I guess he's talking on the phone. So if you call in, we always like to let your voice be heard. And we just had Cornell call in. And again, I saw him yesterday at the event over at Tom Tiffany's Wausau office. And maybe somebody else has some thoughts on my words that cut right to the core. Ian, what's going on here?
We just had a couple other comments he wanted to make. He didn't
Was
want to
that
put in there,
Cornell
he just wanted
again?
to mention it, but he was talking about the
Okay.
yeah.
We'll give him time in the future.
Yeah, we'll give him time in the future. but
Yep,
just
yep.
mention him later.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, very good. Good morning, Paul Michlig, Newman Catholic High School head football and track and field coach, athletic director. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Chad. It's a good day.
It's a good day. It's Friday.
You know,
we are ready for the weekend, I tell you.
You know,
I want some spring, but doggone, it's March Madness, and so it's this time of year you get the snow sometimes, and I think on Sunday it'll be good just to hang indoors, and hopefully Marquette will still be playing on for Sunday.
Well, first of all, the storm I don't think is gonna be as bad as it looks like it's going north of
right.
north of Wausau. So if you're south of
sports and weather with Paul Michlig here.
Well, the thing I'm driving, the reason I care is that
you're hitting the road this weekend.
Hitting the road here, pretty much right after the show here.
Wow.
So, but yeah, we had a track meet last night, and spring sports, and we got basketball. I got with my sixth grade down in Madison this weekend, so we're gonna go down and watch a game before the in the Cole Center. We're gonna watch East, and then we play tonight, and so we got it all weekend. So we'll be in Madison coming back. That's why, just to make a long story short, that's why I care about the weather on Sunday.
Exactly. How did you do in the track meet last night?
Good. I mean,
was it at the one at West?
Yeah, it was at West, and they always put on a good run. Well, Jason does a good job over there as the athletic director, and
my big high school sports.
That's
show
why I threw him on there.
That's
why I wanted to make sure he does a good job, and they do a great job.
Make sure you get an invite again next year to come on the show.
Yeah. Jason says no. Yeah, I know, because I know your co-hosts usually are the ones that run the show.
I tell you, I'm here for the ride. I tell you, I'm here for the ride, which is the way I like it. But hey, let's jump right in, because yesterday Badgers got underway, and the thing was, all year long it's been the case where you see numbers you're not expecting. But that first round of the NCAA tournament, even when they've had high seeds, you get nervous because you never know when that 40-point game was going to come up. This team is different. 85 points, 19-point win. Good start.
We'll probably get that in the second. I'm going to go to this right here. The three guys that transferred out are all done playing.
Well, I was going to bring that up, and real fast. I think that I think there's going to be a lot of people that were happy to hear that. But I mean, Hepburn had a really good year at Louisville.
I'm not. This is not against those kids. They did what they had to do to get their money, and I understand. If you don't understand that as a person,
also as a player, Hepburn had a great year. He had a much better year than any year he had at Wisconsin. So for him, he obviously found a good situation. And obviously.
I mean, it was the money. I mean, that's not kidding ourselves here. Yes. I mean, and which is fine. I mean, that's what this is supposed to be about. I mean, you got to make a living.
All right. What is the point you're going to make here then?
My point being is this is about great guard. This is about great guard and filling in the holes, and 10 years of basketball. Because people have to hear about it. Because
fan in the world of great guard here.
No, actually, what I'm a fan of is I'm a fan of coaches that do things right, and there's a lot of coaches out there that do things right that have to take I'm throwing the money out of the equation because you don't like the money, and I'm taking the money out of the equation. And here's a guy that 7 out of 10 years in the NCAA tournament, has won a couple Big Ten titles there, has done everything right. This year they're projected 12th, and they got the tied for, I think, second, maybe even. In the tournament, they got second, but third.
They were the fifth
Seed. Well,
they
tied records. Well, that's records. Okay, so they don't look at that. They don't look at that 20 years from now and say they do. They look at tiebreakers.
Well, in some cases,
so why are there co-champions then?
Because you want to give everybody a medal.
Oh, okay, all right.
You call whatever you want. You call whatever you want.
I know that you're not a happy camper today, so I know I can push buttons today. I'm going to push every one this morning.
Waiting for me to blow open and become green in the Incredible Hulk.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Garrett is a great coach, but you
know what Sully says when you say but I forget everything. But
you brought
everybody take a drink. Everybody take a drink.
You brought up right away the guys that left, like they did something wrong. They didn't do anything wrong.
No, but
that's the first thing out of your mouth, though. Oh, they had lost 3 guys right away. That implies they did something wrong.
No, that implies nothing.
Okay.
That implies is that great guard can be able to fill those spots because everybody was saying he's got to go. This was going to be his year. This was going to be Chris McIntosh sat there at the game yesterday, and he was sitting there going, he would have been on the hot seat if they finished 12 this year.
Yes, absolutely.
And he sat there cheering them on, and I saw him in the stands, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy was going to fire him if he was finished 12th. That's a fact.
He would have been Fran McCaffrey.
He would have been Fran McCaffrey. You betcha he would have been.
That's the way it is in this era. I mean, it really is.
It is.
I mean,
and it's sickening.
Every year you're going to see 6 or 7 coaches in the Big Ten get canned because you got 18 teams now. And if you're finishing 11th or 12th or 13th, they're going to say, well, I mean, Minnesota, that was gutless by what they did. But they spend, I think, the 3rd lowest amount on their basketball program. Well, what do you expect?
Correct.
I mean, we're going to bring somebody else in who's going to magically turn these magical beans into something worthwhile. I mean, you're exactly right. No, you are right. That was a pressure. There was a pressure because when we talked about it when these guys left. It's like, what are they going to do?
What are they going to do?
And what they did is probably the best job that he's done in his decade at Wisconsin.
And he changed his style, and he got Kirk Penny in there. He adapted,
and that's a great coach there. He didn't get so tight in his own ways, and it turned out great. We got to take a timeout, and then you can push more buttons in a few moments. And welcome back. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO. Online at WXCO.FM. Mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO. And on the Civic Media app with Paul Michlig. Coming up, our number for the day quiz. The topic for the day is Marquette men's basketball. So the number of the day has to do with Marquette men's basketball as they play tonight.
You got that, Ian?
Don't give me any hints, though.
It's something that I know. I think that a lot of folks would know. I'm pretty sure Ian doesn't know.
I'm pretty sure I don't either.
I mean, it's like
Chad's a history guy.
It's a famous number for Marquette men's basketball.
Okay.
All right. I probably don't know.
I think you would know it.
All right.
But you have to listen when you're driving.
Yes, I am.
Heading to Madison for your big weekend.
Yeah.
What about Marquette? They got New Mexico.
Well, we got to finish Wisconsin.
Okay.
It was a good game late yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Wisconsin now, the 85-66. Yeah, we got the game itself. Anything jump out?
I thought they struggled. I do agree with Gard that if you play on Sunday, you should not be playing Thursday, and much less
After
Thursday in Denver, and the first game of the day. I mean, they gave them they had it set up for them to not be. And again, people are going to say, well, you should be able to play anywhere, anytime. Yes, I agree. I'm just saying from a point of view that if you would want to make it fair, there's no reason for the Badgers. Now, if the Badgers would have won, would they have gotten to Milwaukee?
Do you know that what Montana did last weekend by chance? Do you have any idea what Montana did? Do you know?
My guess is that they didn't have
No, do you guess? Do you know?
No.
Okay, that's what I was just curious. Continue.
Do you know?
No, I don't.
I know they didn't play last Sunday.
Okay, I
know.
Well, it's because the Big Ten wants to get so much more TV money, and I'm not going to cry a tear for this. I mean, I frankly think that these tournaments are just money grabs, and it's
100%.
And they're frankly, I don't think they matter, to be honest with you, except for the teams that have to win. I mean, Wisconsin, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what goes into the mind of the Cedars, and yeah, I'm sure it probably helped to beat a team like Michigan State, but I just think that I think
it's secured the number 3 spot,
and I also think that the idea that the Big Ten Conference should be thinking, hey, if they want a tournament, make them qualify for the tournament. Make it an 18 tournament. Make the regular.
They didn't make it qualify. 15 only.
I know, but still, 15 teams. You shouldn't be in a situation you play 4 games in 4 days. Make it 8 teams, and then you have 3 games. And heck, you can make it. You have a day off. I mean, you could have 2 games the first day, and juggle them or something like that. So again, there's ways to make that work. But I actually do agree with. I'm just being kind of.
Well, you're trying to push my buttons. I got no buttons to push.
I think it would be kind of obviously a simple solution. You look at the 4 games that were played in Denver yesterday, and obviously you make Badgers play the last game because you start off with who played Sunday, then you go backwards. It's kind of straightforward.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it is.
And there's not many teams that are playing on Sunday.
Exactly. So
it wouldn't take much. And the thing that I'm going after is that you said Michigan State win wasn't big. Michigan was a 5 seed.
I know. Okay. So
how are they a 5 seed and Wisconsin's a 3 seed?
It's the whole season, I guess.
I know.
But also Michigan finished ahead of Wisconsin in the Big Ten Conference, and they beat them twice.
Actually, they tied. Just to be and they beat them twice.
They tied. You keep bringing that up.
Well, facts. I live in the world of facts.
Now I also live in the world of facts where the tiebreaker, Michigan had the edge.
Were they tied?
They were.
Well, no. Answer the question. Were they tied?
They had the same.
Were they tied?
They had the same record, but then you go down to tiebreaker.
But you said "but" again. See, everybody drink another one because anytime Chad says "but," that's when he's wrong.
What about BYU tomorrow?
I think it's gonna be a tough one. I really do. If they can come out of there, I don't think they got any favors. BYU's legit. They're a good team. They beat Iowa State a couple times. Oh no, they beat them once, and I think recently. And they're a good team. They can shoot the ball. They're gonna have to play defense.
I was gonna say I forgot, and actually, the way things change all the time. It's to say, the Badgers got a fortunate bracket where they're not playing one of the power conferences, but no, BYU is a power conference, and they actually do pretty well in football and basketball in the Big 12 this year. So
yep,
they've stepped in pretty nicely.
Yep, they must have money. I'm just guessing somewhere along the line.
Money.
Well, that's how it kind of goes. I'm sure they're not dirt poor, obviously, but
nobody is dirt poor anymore.
No, that's true too, especially when it comes to athletics in college. But I think they're going to have a tough game. Long story short, they're going to have a tough game. I do think that once they got into a rhythm yesterday, they played much better. And I think they've subbed a lot, even in the tournament. That they played a lot of guys, so I think they're going to be okay with that, and they're going to have their legs. And I think being a day of rest today, I think in staying in the same spot, not traveling, they're going to be ready to go.
Last week you said, and again, it depends on the day of the week and the way the sun is, whether it's cloudy or not, but because you've been on both sides of this. Last week you said, I said that after the brackets came out, that Marquette would be in the Sweet 16. Why do you say that? Because frankly, they've been very up and down recently. And I mean, they've went from a top 5 ranking back in late 2024. And it's been a tough 2025. And that game against St. John's was sort of a microcosm. They came out and took a 15-point lead, and then they lose by 15 or more. What's your take? Why do you think that Marquette's going to make the Sweet 16?
Gut. All gut.
No analytics here, huh? You're not using the analytics.
I think they match up well with both those teams. They can say what they want. They can. I like that they have seniors. I like that they're an older team.
It's kind of interesting, real fast, because was it 2 years ago that Marquette was a 2 and Michigan State was a 7?
Yep.
And Michigan State as the 7 beat Marquette.
Yep.
So you think that if Marquette wins, and assuming Michigan State beats the 15, that they're going to flip it on its head this time around?
Can you sit here and tell me? And again, I'm just saying because you're here, obviously.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I'm here, kind of.
Well, no, you're here.
My head is halfway here. No.
Are you telling me Marquette beat Purdue, Wisconsin, and Illinois? No, Maryland, at Maryland too.
Right.
Are you telling me that they can't beat them? Are you telling me that they're equal? You know what I'm saying?
I never made a prediction here.
No. I don't say. I'm saying is like I'm just saying. Look at the facts and the stats.
But
again. Here's the but again. But drink it up.
Those 3 games are all in 2024.
Yeah.
Does that not have a factor in the way?
Same. Just for the people out there, 2024 in December.
Right.
So. The same year. It's been the same year of it wasn't like last basketball
2024-2025 season, where in the 2024 part of the season, the Marquette was great. I mean, they were a top 10 team and at times a top 5 team, but in 2025, they have not. And in terms of momentum,
is the Big Ten and Big East tougher than people might think?
People? Drink? Talking about people again?
Yep.
People.
Big Ten had a good day yesterday. I don't think anybody lost. Big East, Xavier won.
And actually, Creighton beating Louisville was
Creighton dominated them.
And
ACC, second best team in the ACC. How good is the ACC?
And Creighton beat Louisville in Lexington, which I thought was very
in Lexington.
I hate that. And I know you were rooting for the Badgers play at Wisconsin Badgers play at Marquette, Milwaukee. I'm glad they're not, because I think that's unfair, to be honest with you.
So you're telling me now? I think Louisville's unfair.
You don't think that? We remember when Badgers played at Milwaukee, the crowds that were there. That's not fair. That's not a neutral site.
Let me ask you this: you think going through a whole year earning that?
Well, then make it a home court, pure home court, higher seed hosts.
Well, they don't make as much money then.
But
come on, Chad. Think about that.
But isn't the whole point of this tournament to make it fair? And then all of a sudden they're trying to.
How about what? Then maybe with Auburn, what they should do is play with one arm tied behind their back.
But what if there was the opposite way and the Badgers were playing basically?
They are
on the road.
They kind of are. To BYU,
Utah,
Denver. Is Utah closer? Is that closer to?
It's not about You think BYU is going to have a full fan support in that building like Wisconsin would in Milwaukee? Come on.
But they shouldn't. They're the 6th seed. Wisconsin's the 3rd seed.
No, but come on. No,
you've earned the seed.
You've earned the seed, but you don't earn in the NCAA tournament. You don't earn a home court game. And Milwaukee is a home
Louisville
court
did
game.
not earn a number nine, a
No,
home game at
they
number
shouldn't-
9
They
seed.
They shouldn't have been there. That's what I'm
But
saying.
that's a 9 seed though.
Back in the day,
Or, 8 seed.
they didn't make this little goofiness where they move teams around to be closer to their. This is an intentional thing by the NCAA. That's not right. That's what I'm saying.
Intentional what? Intentional what?
They
to make money or to win?
To make money. And they moved teams closer to their. Because what was Wisconsin, the East Regional? They used to be you actually played in an Eastern place. East Regional game in Denver?
Yeah, that's gone out a long time ago.
No, it did, but
these are predetermined years ahead of time.
So you're okay with teams basically in home court advantage in the NCAA
if they're the higher seed.
Well, then you make it completely for the higher seed. You don't cherry pick.
Correct. That's why I don't understand. You don't think that's what they did? Because it was Iowa State and Kentucky that got it closer games.
I'm saying blow this all up. You're okay with it. That's what you're saying. You're okay. You want Wisconsin to have a home court advantage. Admit it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? If that's how the rules are made.
Because the NCAA tournament's supposed to be fair.
You know what? Like I said, though, they should actually. Auburn's going to play with clown shoes on tomorrow, so it's fair when they play against Creighton.
Oh, give me a break.
Is that what you're saying?
No, you are making this way overly complicated. I'm saying neutral sites are supposed to be neutral sites, not where it's like you give a wink and a nod. Oh, this is a neutral site in Lexington for Louisville. That wasn't a neutral site. It would not have been a neutral site in Milwaukee for Wisconsin.
Yeah, it would have been. Marquette people don't even like Wisconsin.
Oh,
is that fact? Is that a fact?
I've had a. Who's going to be in that building? Not Marquette people, Wisconsin people.
Yeah, just like there's going to be some Wisconsin people in Denver.
Oh.
Right? Did Wisconsin have fans there? Because I thought I saw some in there.
Were there as many as there would have been in Milwaukee?
No, and they deserved it.
No, they don't deserve anything. This is supposed to be neutral site. If you want to make them home games, then make them home games. But don't tell me this is a tournament.
But is
where
there such a thing as a neutral site? Honestly, Chad?
Because you're saying higher seeds should get an advantage. No, that's not the point of this tournament.
But Denver's closer to Utah.
It has nothing to do whether you're going to. Okay.
So what's a neutral site? That's not neutral.
You're going to get a map and say you have to be exactly the same number?
Let me ask you this. That team coming
from
ridiculous. Okay.
I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
No. This is a football question.
You just keep talking.
This is a football question.
I'm tuned out right now.
This is a football question.
Go on.
Owen Withey had a game 20 miles away or half an hour away, and Stanley Boyd and Highland had to come up 3 hours. Is that fair?
No, it's not fair. So why are you saying
it's a neutral
fair?
site? Though it's a neutral site. You said though. It's a neutral site
because they're
closer. Because they're closer, Chad, isn't it? So there's no such thing as a neutral site.
Whatever.
I got you on that one.
No, you didn't get
Yes,
that.
I did.
You want again? This is ridiculous. BYU going to a different state is not the same as Owen Withey being 20 miles down the road.
Well, 30,
whatever.
But it is. It actually is.
Oh, this is.
Friday, let's try to end on a positive note.
What about the Bucks last night? They really dominated.
I don't want
to
end on a positive note. I'm all ticked off now.
Well, what about that? What about the Bucks? We got to end with the Bucks.
Well,
did you watch it last night?
No, I did not. They played the JV team, so I guess they should have won. And by the way,
he's really not in a good mood.
By the way,
I knew I was in trouble when I walked in the door.
By the way, I mean, again, they've been playing like crap lately, and again, Doc seems to get a pass on all this. I mean, they're so mediocre. They are a mediocre team right now.
You know what? I can't even disagree with you right now.
But I mean, it's like
they
Doc,
look like a mediocre
team. Pass. I mean, the guy before him, we don't remember his name. He was here such a short time.
What was his name?
I know, huh?
I did forget.
All right, we got 10 seconds to go.
Hey, they're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay.
Trek, and hopefully BYU doesn't get too big of a home court advantage tomorrow.
You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy some time off.
And welcome back. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO. Online at WXCO.FM. Mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app. That guy doesn't give an inch, ever. I mean, he just will not give an inch to me, and it leads to those kind of conversations. But it's always fun. Again, we can disagree, but it's like he just will not give an inch on things, and it's like it drives me nuts sometimes. But always good to have Paul Michlig with us here on Friday mornings. It is the 21st day of March, 2025, day number 80. We're up to 80. We're less than 3 weeks away from being into triple digits in day numbers for this year. I mean, it's insane how fast it's going.
So fast.
But 285 days remaining in the year 2025. And a number of famous events have occurred on this date in history. On this date in 1948, renamed the Telecaster in 1950, Fender's guitar became the mainstay of both country and rock musicians. On this date in 1965, around 3,000 civil rights demonstrators, led by the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., began their march in Alabama from Selma to Montgomery. 3,000. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that led to massive change in this country. On this date in 1980, on the season finale of the drama Dallas, the infamous character J.R. Ewing was shot by an unseen assailant, leading to the catchphrase, "Who shot J.R.?" On this date in 2013, the European Space Agency revealed new data that indicated the universe is 13.82 billion years old. That should have been our number for the day.
That would have been a good number.
On this date in 2018, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg admitted they, quote, made mistakes after data on 50 million users was harvested by Cambridge Analytica. Zuckerberg continues to make mistakes in his Facebook career. Some famous folks are celebrating their birthdays today. Timothy Dalton. He was James Bond twice in a couple of movies. Also actor in many other roles, 79 years old today. Comedian Brad Hall, 67 years old today. Actor Gary Oldman, 67 years old. Boy, what a career he has had. Man, his resume is just huge.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, many other movies as well. Broadway star, 63 years old. Also 63 is Rosie O'Donnell. And Scott Eastwood, actor, is 39 years old as well. And if you out there celebrating your birthday, happy birthday to you from all of us at 98.9 WXCO.
Happy birthday.
Special events. International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. Hear that, Donald Trump?
I think that needs to be every day now.
It certainly does. Companies That Care Day. Absolutely Incredible Kid Day. Memory Day. Agriculture Day. Big day here in Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
Crunchy Taco Day. That's a good one.
Crunchy tacos are good.
It certainly is. It is Teenager Day. And World Puppetry Day. And World Tattoo Day. All right. Time now for our number for the day quiz as Ian Welsh looking for a winning week. He is 2 out of 4 so far this week. He has clinched a passing grade, but now it's time to get a winning week. And do you remember the topic?
It was Marquette men's basketball. Right?
Yep, Marquette men's basketball. Our number for the day is the year that Marquette won their only NCAA tournament championship, national championship. What year did Marquette win their only NCAA men's basketball national championship?
Okay, what are my choices?
Your choices are 1957, 1967, 1977.
57, 67, or 77.
What year did Marquette win their only NCAA national basketball championship? 1957, 1967, 1977.
Okay, I'm just going to go with my gut here. I'm going to say 1967. I'm going to go with B to end the week. It's my final answer. I'm going with 67.
You went with the middle number on Wednesday and got it right.
I got it wrong.
Oh, I thought no, you got Wednesday right.
Oh, they said Monday. No, Wednesday I got it right.
Right?
Yes.
You went with the middle number yesterday and got it right. Do you think we'd have 3 straight days where the middle number was correct?
You never know.
You never know is right. But the correct answer, the correct answer for Marquette University men's basketball national championship, 1977.
Oh, the biggest number.
Al McGuire was the coach. His last season as coach, and they won the national championship. But still a passing grade this week. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Enjoy your trek to Green Bay. Hopefully you'll win in your escape room.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you Monday morning.
See you Monday morning. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Tune in tomorrow, 8 till 9 a.m. for the Wausau Business Show. Stick around. Coming up next, it is Matt and Air on Air. And don't forget as well, we'll start our Text to Win contest on Monday. Tune in starting at 7 a.m. for your chance to win 4 times each weekday for the next 2 weeks. Have a great weekend and keep it right here on 98.9 WXCO.